Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm hitting too many buttons here. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Transformation Center. Today, I just come on here because I wanted to invite each and every one of you to our next session, our first session of the Transformation Center. Let me tell you a little bit about the Transformation Center. Um, our center is not just a place. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I can't read with these glasses on. It's not just a place, it's a haven where personal evaluation unfolds from self reflecting to empowerment. We provide a nurturing environment that fosters positive change and self discovery. Our vision is. Is to imagine a space where you shed the old and embrace the new. We're at the beginning of the year, so why would we not want to shed the old and embrace the new? Where challenges become stepping stones and every setback is an opportunity for growth. This is what it is mean to be transformed through the Transformation Center. It's all about a place, a safe place, a metamorphosis. It's not just a process, it's a celebration. What do we offer? Personal growth workshops, personal um, wellness programs, empowerment coaching, supportive community events, creative expressions. I want you to take a moment and make sure that you go over to the Transformation Center and join us. Become a member so you can find out more information each time, each week, each month that we're doing an activity. I'm getting ready to bring up our first speaker of the month of January. Well, she'll be talking about trauma, transforming your mind. And the very first session is something you do not want to miss. I promise you, you don't. I want to introduce to you none other than Dr. Deanna Morris.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am excited about what's taking place this year with the Transformation Center. I am excited about it. I'm looking forward to the great things that you have set up for everybody. Good morning, everybody. So glad to be a part of what's coming in the month of January, transforming your mind. And we're going to just deal with the subject of trauma. It is a big subject, and we're going to tackle it and try to help bring change and clarity and understanding so that we can heal, so that we can heal.
And that's so important that we heal in this current place where we are. We just don't want to just be transformed and no healing takes place. One thing about the Transformation Center, one of our goals and our primary mission is that we all have sustainable, visible change continuously, not just for the month of January, but
Yes.
the month for the entire year and the years to come. So let's talk about, I know that your topic is transforming your mind. Can you give us just a little bit of a tidbit of what, so that we want to entice them a little bit to make sure
Just
that they come
just
on?
a little bit. Just a little bit. So you'll come on Saturday. The first session is Saturday. So our first is going to be broken into two sessions. The first session is going to be recognizing your trauma. Recognizing your trauma. I've had over the course of the last few years in dealing with trauma. You could ask a person, well, have you ever experienced any trauma in your life? And they'll say no. But what I realize is that people don't recognize what trauma is. They think that trauma is this gigantic event that took place, that maybe the police came or somebody died or you had this life changing event. And it is, but it doesn't have to be so big that everybody recognizes. Trauma is personal, it's individual. So we're going to tackle five common areas of trauma. One would be neglect and deprivation. We're going to cover physical and domestic abuse, sexual abuse. We're going to cover life incidents and accidents. That's trauma that we don't even recognize as trauma. We're going to cover, I'm trying to think, but I have two more. Oh, we're going to cover loss and grief, which is one of the topics that I've been really digging into over the last few months. And we're going to dig into these subjects and kind of bring clarity in some areas. We're going to talk about dealing with medical trauma, medical incidents, and medical in medical injuries that come on. We're going to talk about all of those areas in the first session, and I have a activity and some exercise, even some homework for
Mm,
us to complete this weekend when we go through this session. The next session will be building from your trauma.
mm,
So we're going to take the same topics and turn around and build from them. So if we talked about medical trauma or medical incidents, we're going to talk about how do I build after that? What does that look like? How do I cause myself to have hope again? Because when you go through certain things in domestic violence, how do I deal with having confidence again and making sure that I don't fall into the same traps? So those are some of the things we're going to deal with. We're going to do some practical exercises. I'm just really excited about this, Patricia, how we're going to move forward and how we're going to help so many women. And I think that doing this at the beginning, when you want to transform your mind, you have to deal with where you've been and what has affected you. And sometimes that starts back in our childhood. So I know that our first session is going to be very triggering, but guess what? We're prepared for that. We are prepared to deal with your triggers so that we can move forward. So I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited about this.
I am truly excited. Let me just tell you, because this is, guys, this is not the session. So you're gonna have to
We
come
did
back.
not plan this.
This is an impromptu so that we can, guys, get you out there, get you warmed up, and get you ready. But one thought that came to mind when you talk about recognizing trauma. Wait a minute. I could be having trauma and not know it. That is so critical to make
Listen,
sure.
you can. I had a client once. And I asked her, have you ever had any trauma in your life? Have you ever experienced any kind of trauma? And she told me no. And, I just said, okay, maybe she didn't. I didn't know. I said, okay, maybe not. So I said, well, tell me about your childhood. Tell me about your family. Let's talk. And she began to tell me these stories. And I'm like, God, if you didn't have trauma, I'm traumatized for you. But what it is when we go through life situations, we just live. We don't recognize that it's not the norm. We don't recognize that this is not healthy because it is the life that we've seen. Either we saw it through another family or family members, or we saw it in our older siblings. So when it was our turn, this is what we recognize. Because it blows my mind that even think, do you know that poverty is trauma?
Mm, wow. So that means we
When
have
the
a
lights
whole
got
lot
turned
of
off,
people. A
when the
whole lot
lights
of
got
people.
turned off, that was trauma. When you didn't have enough food to eat, that's trauma. So I'm not going to dig into it too deep, but those are little things to let you know. Sometimes we've dealt with trauma and we don't know it. And we grow up as adults and
Right.
it doesn't phase us. I mean, we just like, oh, the lights got turned off. Well, I'll pay the bills. But the truth of the matter is, it shouldn't be like that.
Right. Oh, did I do something? You're good?
I'm good. I see you. You see me. Yeah,
Okay.
we just winging it out here to give you some insight. That's all. Just play along with us.
Definitely play along with us. I'm up here clicking buttons that I should not be clicking. But listen, I want you all to make sure that you're in the place on Saturday. Saturday at 10 o'clock, we will be live, streaming live to Facebook and letting you know how you can recognize trauma. We're dealing with the mind, and none other than Dr. Deanna Morris. Let me tell you, I love this lady. I know that she's going to bring it. I know that she's going to expose some things that you probably don't want to be exposed to. But guess what? We're going to be here. We're not just going to expose it and leave you out there. That's part of the
That's right.
Transformation Center, is for us to make sure that we connect with you. So that way, when you're dealing with the trauma, when you're going through the process, because everything is a process, this is a
Yes.
metamorphosis that's getting ready to take place in your life. And in order to go through the metamorphosis, you are going to have to position yourself and free. I know that most people don't know this, and in studying the caterpillar and the butterfly, when a caterpillar turns before it turns into a butterfly, it becomes liquid.
Yes.
It has to become liquefied so that everything on it, everything about the old self can go
Can go
away.
away.
It
That's
starts
good.
off new, brand new. So that's what God is doing. That's what this process of transforming your minds so that your bodies can be transformed. So listen, this is just our little impromptu infomercial to let you know that on Saturday at 10 o'clock, Facebook Live with Dr. Deanna Morris, Transforming Your Mind, part one. So you listen, if you missed part one, I don't know how long we're going to leave it up. You might have to go over to the Transformation Center. Make sure you're active in the Transformation Center so you'll see what's going on. You'll see the posts about the mind. You'll see the transformation about the mind. You'll see the metamorphosis that is getting ready to take place so that you can actively participate, so that there's counselors, there's individuals you can
Yes.
talk to, whatever you need. Our goal is to provide it in the Transformation Center. So listen, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining
Yes.
us. Remember, Saturday at 10 a.m. Facebook Live, we will be out here again with none other than Dr. Deanna Morris talking about transforming your mind, starting with recognizing the trauma in your life. Amen. So thank you guys
Amen.
for joining us. We will see you guys on
See you
Saturday.
Saturday.